Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to today's interview. I am Shuaib and today I am going to have an interesting conversation with an AI guest. Our topic for today is whatever a journey through indifference. We will discuss the meaning, use and journey of this interesting world. So let's get started with our first question.
Hey, what's up?
Hello Miles, it's great to have you here. Are you ready for the interview?
Born ready. I'm locked in. What's the topic for today?
The topic is whatever a journey through indifference.
The journey through indifference. That's a heavy one. We're talking about that shift where the things that used to get a reaction out of you just don't anymore. It's like a mental shedding of skin. Where do you want to take this first?
My first question is what does the word whatever mean?
The ultimate conversational shrug. Whatever is basically the white flag of a conversation. It's that moment where you've either run out of energy to argue or you've decided the other person's point just isn't worth the breath. It's like saying I'm done with this without actually having to say the words. You think it's more of a dismissive move or just a way to keep the peace?
Let's move to the next question. My second question is where did the word whatever come from?
Let me dig into that. It's funny how a word that feels so modern and dismissive probably started way back in Middle English around the 14th century. Originally, it was just a way to say what in the world or no matter what. The version we use now, the one that basically ends a conversation, didn't really hit its stride until the 80s and 90s with youth culture in the States. It went from a literal description to a total vibe shift. You think that shift happened because people just got tired of explaining themselves?
How was the word whatever used in the past?
That's a wild question. Um, I'm guessing you mean how the youth used to express that same kind of indifference before whatever became the go to. No one before that hit, it was probably more about the attitude, maybe a roll of the eyes or so what. Kind of a more direct way of saying they didn't care. You think the older generations were just as dismissive or were they more formal about it?
My third question is how has the meaning and use the word whatever changed over time?
I think it's gone from a literal phrase to a social weapon. Back in the day, whatever was just a way to describe anything or any person. Now, it's an entire mood. It's a way to shut down a conversation without having to actually argue. It reflects a shift toward this kind of curated indifference, where being unbothered is almost a status symbol. It's like we've traded long winded disagreements for a single word that basically says your opinion isn't worth my bandwidth. Do you think that makes us more honest or just less patient?
My fourth question is why do you think the word whatever has become so common in everyday language today?
It's a perfect tool for the modern age, honestly. We live in this era of constant noise and information overload, and whatever is like a mental circuit breaker, it's just so efficient. Why spend 10 minutes explaining why you disagree when one word can just end the whole thing? Plus, there's this social trend of wanting to seem detached or cool. If you're too invested, you're vulnerable, but if you just say whatever, you're the one in control of the vibe. Do you think it's a way of protecting ourselves or is it just lazy communication?
My fifth question is can the word whatever show that someone does not care about something? Please explain why.
100%. It's basically the universal signal for I'm out. When someone says it, they're telling you that the topic has officially hit like zero value for them. It's like they've just turned off the switch to that specific part of the conversation. Whether they're actually bored, annoyed, or just don't have the energy to care, the result is the same total indifference. It's the shortest distance between a topic and a dead end. Does that click for you, or does it feel a bit more complicated than that?
My sixth question is what does the word whatever sometimes sound rude, even though it can have a simple meaning?
because it's all about the subtext. See, the literal meaning is just it doesn't matter, but the social meaning is often I don't care about what you're saying. It's that gap where the rudeness lives. It's not the word itself. It's the fact that you're basically deleting the other person's input in real time. It's like a verbal eye roll. You know what I'm saying?
My seventh question is, how important is the tone of voice when someone say the word whatever?
Everything. Tone is the only thing that separates a chill whatever from a total bridge burner. Like if it's soft and airy, it's just I'm cool with anything you pick. But if it's sharp, short, and has that little edge to it, that's basically a verbal slap. Like transforms the word from a gesture of flexibility into a weapon of indifference. It's the difference between being easygoing and being completely over it. You think you can tell exactly how someone feels just by that one syllable?
My next question is, can you give us some simple examples where whatever has different meaning depending on the situation?
For sure. Think about picking a place to eat. If your friend asks where you want to go and you say whatever with a smile, you're just being flexible. It's like I'm down for anything you choose. But then imagine you're in the middle of a heated argument about who forgot to take out the trash. You've given all your points, the other person is still going, and you just sigh and drop a whatever. So, in that context, it's not about being flexible, it's a total shutdown. It means I'm done talking to you. Then you have the whatever of genuine curiosity, like saying, whatever happens, happens. That's more of a philosophical vibe, almost like letting go of control. See how the same word just flips depending on the energy in the room? Do those examples make sense, or do you want some that are a bit more specific?
My next question is, why do young people use the word whatever more often is possible talk?
I think it's because it's the ultimate safety net for them. When you're young, everything feels high stakes, right? Being too invested can feel like a weakness. Using whatever lets them stay detached. It's a way to project a certain kind of cool where they aren't let in on the drama or the stress. It's less about the word and more about the shield it creates. Do you think it's a way to avoid being vulnerable or just a habit they pick up from each other?
My tenth question is, can the word whatever sometimes show anger, frustration, or lack of interest? How?
Absolutely. It's like a Swiss Army knife for negative emotions. If it's paired with a sharp exhale, it's pure frustration. If it's flat and monotone, that's the lack of interest. The I'm literally bored by this vibe. And when it's snapped out quickly, that's the anger. It's a way to express all those feelings without actually having to explain them, which is why it can feel so aggressive. You think it's more honest to just say I'm angry, or is whatever a more natural way to let it out?
My 11th question is, do you think using the word whatever can create misunderstanding between people? Why or why not?
No, definitely. Basically a recipe for misunderstanding. Because the word itself is so vague, the other person has to guess the vibe. If you're just being easygoing and say whatever about where to eat, but the other person thinks you're being dismissive or annoyed, suddenly a simple dinner plan turns into a thing. Strips away the nuance of the conversation and replaces it with a guessing game. You're basically leaving the door wide open for the other person to project their own mood onto you. Do you think it's the speaker's responsibility to be clearer, or should the listener just take it at face value?
My next question is the word whatever always negative or can it also be used in a positive and friendly way?
It can definitely lean positive. It really depends on who you're with and the energy you're bringing. When it's used between close friends who just get each other, it can be a sign of total trust. Like, whatever you want to do is fine with me. In that case, it's not indifference, it's actually a form of support. It's like saying, I trust your judgment without having to be all formal about it. Very chill vibe. Do you think it feels more friendly when it's said by someone you're really close with?
My next question is, how have movies and social media and modern culture helped make the word whatever more popular?
They basically turned it into a brand. Think about those classic teen movies from the 90s, the disaffected youth trope. The protagonist always had that specific brand of apathy, leaning back in a chair, rolling their eyes, and dropping a whatever to show they were too cool for the system. It became a shorthand for rebellion and independence. Then social media took that and amplified it. Now we have this whole culture of main character energy where being unbothered is the goal, or whatever attitude on a caption or in a video signals that you're in control and nothing can get to you. It's evolved from a lazy word into a social strategy. Do you think we've reached a point where acting like you don't care is actually more popular than showing you're excited about something?
My next question is, do you think people from different cultures understanding and use the word whatever in the same way? Why?
Probably not. It's a very English centric way of handling a conversation. And a lot of other cultures, especially those that value high levels of politeness or directness, dropping or whatever would be seen as a massive insult. Like in some places, being that dismissive is just a total breach of social etiquette, regardless of your tone. It's a very specific kind of Americanized apathy. You think it would be a huge risk to use it in a culture that's more formal?
Let's move to the next question. My next question is, why is it important to understand the tune and situation before deciding what someone means by whatever?
Because without context, you're basically just guessing. If you just look at the word whatever in a vacuum, it's a blank slate. But when you add in the human element, who's saying it, what happened 5 minutes ago, the look on their face, that's where the actual meaning lives. It's the difference between your partner being sweet about dinner plans and your boss being annoyed with a report. If you ignore the situation, you're likely to misread the whole vibe and end up in a conflict that didn't even need to happen. Do you think people tend to assume the worst when they hear it, or do they usually give the benefit of the doubt?
My next question is, do you think people should be more careful when using words like whatever while talking to others?
I think it's a smart move. Like we talked about, whatever is a high risk word. It's a shortcut that saves you effort, but it can cost you a lot in terms of how people feel about you. If you use it when you're actually just being chill, but the other person hears a shutdown, you've just created a problem out of thin air. Being a bit more intentional with your words usually saves you from a lot of unnecessary drama. Do you think the effort of being clearer is worth avoiding those misunderstandings?
My next question is, what does the journey of the word whatever teach us about how language change over time?
It shows that language isn't just about definitions, it's about power and vibes. The evolution of whatever is a perfect example of how a word can move from being a literal description to an emotional tool. It teaches us that as our social needs change, like this modern desire to seem detached or unbothered, our language shifts to fill that gap. We stop using words to just share information and start using them to manage how other people perceive us. It's like language is a living thing that adapts to the psychology of the people using it. Do you think we'll see other boring literal words turn into social weapons like this one?
My next question is, what advice would you give to young people about using words that may sound rude or careless?
I tell them to read the room first. Look, using words like whatever can feel like a power move in the moment, but the real power is knowing when to be direct and when to be chill. My advice would be to realize that once you drop a word that sounds careless, you can't just take it back. It changes how people see you and not always in the cool way you might intend. It's better to be the person who can express their boundaries or their indifference without making the other person feel small. Do you think that kind of awareness is something people just grow into, or can you actually learn it?
Finally, what is the most important thing you would like our audience to understand about the word whatever?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the simplest words often carry the heaviest weight. It's wild that one word can be a gesture of total trust in one moment and a total bridge burner in the next. It shows that communication isn't just about the dictionary definition, it's about the energy, the tone, and the relationship between two people. If you only hear the word and ignore the human behind it, you're missing the whole point. That's a pretty dope way to wrap this up. How do you feel the interview went?
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's what great talking with you. I learned a lot from you. Allah Hafiz.
Anytime. I had a blast. Appreciate you having me on for this one. Allah Hafiz. Take it easy.